g5 earlier.
Against Ding, right?
Yes, and he got himself into a spot of trouble, actually, in that one.
But he changes it up today, because against Ding he was playing a6, queen bishop a7, queen e7, the kind of a slower line. a5 very much indicates that you will be playing the g5 lines, I think. I think a5, queen e7, bishop e6 don't really go together as well, because, among other things, the b5 square is available to the white bishop, so you don't get the trade. And if you don't get the trade, your queen doesn't get the e6 square, and you never really unpin your knight on f6. So I think, yeah, Wesley here going back to his roots, because a5 followed by g5, I think, is what he used to do against the bishop g5 lines in the past, before he discovered the joys of queen e7, bishop e6.
And trading the joys of trading light square bishops. I didn't realize it had come to that in the Joker piano these days. Castles by white, and if I could ask, what is the theoretical...
g5 is the most common move here by black.
Okay. And
Bishop g3 and then castles.
And then castles right away. Okay, so you don't stick around in the center. You don't play king f8 or king g7. None of this knight h7.
I think in this position they still sometimes do the queen e7, knight h7, f8 routine. The plan that I was talking about in one of our earlier games where g5 was played. But yeah, castles is the most popular one.
I like the idea that you spend 3 tempi to shift your knight one square over to g6.
But it does both, as we were talking about on that day, it does both things really, really well. It supports your center, making the d4 pawn break a lot less painful, because the knight on g6 protects the e5 pawn gets further protection once that knight appears on g6, and also it just supports h5 and g4 really, really strongly by denying white the h4 square. So yeah, it looks very artificial, it looks unbelievably slow, but when you get down to it, there's definitely reasons behind it. But we'll see what Wesley does.
If I may also ask, in these positions where you go castles and you go g5, knight takes g5, rook e1, rook e8, what if black just hangs out, like waits for you to commit yourself to playing knight f1 and goes bishop e6, and just asks you...
Not play g5, you mean?
Yeah, not play g5. How are you going to... Are you going to maneuver a knight to h5, or how are you going to force g5?
Well, move by move. I think here I would like to play knight f1 if I can.
Yep, I'm totally legal. Yep.
Bishop b6. I'm very curious about bishop b5 in these positions. I think it's going to be quite awkward.
Bishop to b5 in these positions. Yeah. Knight just gets...
And with a knight on f1, honestly, I'm still taking on g5 as far as I can tell. Like if you go g5, knight g5, bishop g5, knight g3, knight h5 is a massive threat.
Right.
Maybe you have ways of dealing with it, but I'm curious what they are. Maybe king h7, g6 though. Or king g7, g6. Maybe you're in time.
g6?
No. g5 first.
seconds. I love the move King E3. King E3 is absolutely a boss move. You're threatening Rook E4 check. You're threatening Bishop D4 check. Wesley knows he's got to draw. That's just that just draws comfortably.
Yeah, this is now.
It's a
I'm not even sure you
comfortable
get bishop and bishop.
No, I don't think you get that either.
Yeah, you establish a very strong blockade very quickly.
Exactly.
We'll save for Wesley.
Wow. So we've just seen Prague play bishop to b5, and Prague is holding his head like, oh my gosh. So
Play
we're
bishop
going to
c6,
play.
and now after rook d4 he actually has to accept a trade of rooks, because if you go rook b5, bishop c7 wins the bishop.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not
that's
play
it.
rook and bishop in the other direction, please. Take it.
Right? Rook to
No,
d6.
so he went bishop c6.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Otherwise, this is immediately a draw. But
Prague
you can
is
see
just
Prague knows.
distraught, as this move forces the trade of rooks, and that makes it
No, this
as
rook b5.
no bishop c7 check, and I get to play rook and bishop.
Exactly, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, let's not do this in the other direction, please.
Let's not play.
Yeah, he pushed f6 and
Wow, now we are going to see a draw, rook takes, and bishop d8, pardon me.
or bishop d4. Yeah,
Yeah,
both.
I wanted to force f7, don't ask me why.
7 bishop b7 and wow.
Wesley knows he dodged a second bullet in this game.
Bishop.
Bishop.
Come on,
Fade
play
bishop.
And officially over.
Wow, Prague is. He's going to need some consolation, Peter. Get on your best bedside table manner and say,